And hello gamers, welcome back. I'm doing another live stream and another recording for the people watching on the recording. I'm gonna play some more Atari games. I've got 4 games here that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Circus, Zaxxon, Lost Luggage, and Tapeworm. These games, like all the other games I've been playing recently, I've never played before, and that's what makes this a Jeremy Tries. I have Circus in the machine right now, ready to go. And I have recently cleaned my Atari paddle controllers so that the left-right movement is actually quite nice. It's not jittery, it's not jumpy, it's not sluggish. It's very nice. That by itself, though, was quite an ordeal because I had to take the back off of the controller here, unscrew these 2 things right here. And if you look for one of these screw holes, that one right there, there is a protective label right there that says on it, Game Exchange, warranty void if seal is tampered with or removed, and I think that qualifies as tampering with the seal. But Game Exchange is long dead. So, my warranty's void whether I open that or not. Anyway, though, I open it up, and inside here, going vertically right down the middle here of the knob control, is a potentiometer. And I looked up some instructions online of how to take that apart and get in there and clean the copper contacts on the inside. On the inside there's a disc, a copper disc that goes around the center like this, and that's what the potentiometer effectively is. When you rotate the knob, you're rotating that copper disc around the inside there, and over time that copper disc can get dirty, which causes the jitteriness that you commonly see in aged Atari controllers. And so when I open both of these up, because there's 2 paddle controllers per set, they both plug into one controller port. I'm using this one. And when I got in there and looked at the copper contacts on the inside of the potentiometer, they were hideous. They were so gross. They were black and nasty and like one of them was so bad that there was actually a chunk of black shit hanging off of the inside of the copper disc on the inside of there. And so I hit those with some Q-tips and some rubbing alcohol and rubbed all that shit off there, and probably went through like 20 Q-tips doing that, both sides of every Q-tip, to clean both of these paddle controllers. But that worked out, and they now work great. So I'm going to stop blabbing my head off here and actually play this fucking thing. Reset. And in this game, this game actually resembles Circus Atari, I think. I'm playing on a Telegames cartridge, which was a Sears rebranding of an Atari cartridge, and this one is just called Circus, but I'm pretty sure the Atari first-party name is actually called Circus Atari. So I'm kind of familiar with this one. So what I have to do here is, this is kind of like Breakout, which is a quintessential game from this time period, frequently cloned. And the twist here that you have to do is I'll push the button that sends that little person on the side flying, and then I have to bounce these 2 people back and forth on opposite sides of this teeter-totter here. And then the person flies up into the top and clears out the blocks. Oh shit. Apparently the game was throwing me a bone there. The little person actually landed on the side where the person already was, but it went ahead and bounced it up anyway. Did the same thing again. This is so nice now that these paddles have been cleaned. Okay, game. Stop bouncing them straight up and down and do something else. I also apologize for the hideous amount of artifacting that you see going on in the middle there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some vertical rectangles that are discolored according to the background, and that's just this game that's doing that. All the other games that I'm going to play I've tested in advance, and they actually looked pretty good, so I don't know what it is about this game that's causing that artifacting. But the quality will improve with subsequent games. So that's the gist of this game. And I ran out of lives. Let's try select, though. See if there's different ways of playing this game. See, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2. I bet the second number is number of players. So let's scroll all the way back to the beginning here and try 2-1. Oh, that looks different. I see. It changed the pattern of the blocks up at the top. So let's play that. Or did it? Oh, wait, yeah, it added those bumpers right there. Okay. Feel sorry for that person getting all caught up in the bumpers and the blocks. It's got to be giving them one hell of a headache. There was another game that I was going to play called Race. That's this game here. It's another Telegames rebranding cartridge, but this one actually has a printed label instead of just the word Telegames and some text. And it says it uses the driving controllers, also known as the paddle controllers, and couldn't get it to work. I mean, the game starts up, and you hear the vehicle sounds from the cars in the game running, but the controls don't do anything. So, I don't know what's wrong with that game. The only thing I can think of is that maybe my assumption that the paddle controllers and the driving controllers are the same may not be true. Because I have seen the driving controllers literally look exactly like this, except the label on the bottom, where it says paddle, says driving instead. So I thought that meant that they look the same, therefore they are the same. But maybe they're not the same. Maybe I need to go to the used video game shop and get some actual driving labeled controllers. Okay, that's it for that mode. So let's try 3-1. See what that does. Is it just me, or did the blocks at the top start going really fast? Is that what's different in this mode? Okay, do something, game. Hit the person up into the thing. There we go. Went right up into the gap and didn't do shit. Okay, how do you get the person to bounce higher? Is anybody watching on the live stream know how you do that? Does it depend on where on the teeter-totter that the person lands? Because I've always been trying to let them land on the very end of it. Shit. That's it for that mode. Let's try 4. So we've got the fast blocks and the bumpers in this mode. Piss! How does that work? Is there a point on the teeter-totter past which the person is not allowed to land? Maybe the midpoint? That would make sense. Oh shit! It bounced off that thing fast. Fuck. So what are you supposed to do in that situation? Oh, wait a minute. I remembered something about this game. I'm going to go up to the next level 5. I think... Yes. That's what you do. While the button initially works to launch the other person, but after you've launched, then the button causes the teeter-totter to flip horizontally, so that you can get them to land on the other side, when normally they wouldn't. Shit. See there, I just flipped it on purpose. Oh shit. Piss. It's actually kind of hard. Go on to 6, I guess? Not seeing a lot of variation in these modes. Maybe it's altering the number of lives that I have too, because it seems like... Oh damn, that cleared out a lot. It seems like some of these modes I have more lives than the others. Oh shit. Yeah, that was nice. Bounced off the bumpers twice. One thing you have to be cognizant of in this game is that the range of motion for the paddle controller, that is the distance to which you can rotate this knob, is actually further than what's on the screen. Like, watch this, I'll rotate it all the way to the side right there. That's as far as you can go on the screen, but you can rotate the knob additionally a little bit more. But if you start to rotate it back, your platform will not move until you get back within the game's supported range of motion. So if you go all the way to the side too far, then you have to remember that you have to dig yourself back out effectively to get the platform moving again. It's the same on the opposite side too. Only on the opposite side there's a lot more play in it. So that's the edge, and then I can keep turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning and turning, and it doesn't do it. I don't know if the reason why it does that, if it sets the default position for the driving controller as the startup position, like whenever I turn on the console, if that becomes center, and then I go left and right like that. So if I start it up all the way to the left like that, if the game will think that that is center, and that'll mess up the game. I actually don't know that for sure. I wouldn't think so, because I would have thought that I would have noticed something like that. I know that what makes me think that it might be that way is on the Nintendo 64 controller, and maybe even the GameCube controllers and every stick-based controller that Nintendo has made since then, but particularly on the N64. If you start the system up, or when you start the system thinks that wherever the stick is when you turn it on, that's the center of the stick. So if you push the stick all the way forward and turn on the system, it will think that all the way up is actually the middle. So you can cause some kind of weird things to happen like that with the controls. The N64 actually has a built-in key button combination on the controller to reset the stick to its neutral position. And I think it's left, right, the L and R shoulder buttons, and then start. You hit all those at the same time, and then it'll reset the stick so that that is now the center position. But I'm not sure if that's the right key combination or not. I want to say the GameCube is the same way too. Anyway, is there more of this? There's a 7 apparently. Oh well, it looks the same to me. There's also an 8. Anyway, I think that's enough of Circus. We get the idea, we get it. Next we're going to play Zaxxon. This is a third-party cartridge manufactured by Coleco, because yes, Coleco did make cartridges for competing consoles. They didn't just make games exclusive to their own. Is that working? Yes. Okay, wait a minute. Oh shit. I remembered I gotta switch controllers, because all of the rest of the games that I have laid out use the joystick controller. So let's plug that in. And then I can play the rest of these games. Okay. So reset, and we start the game. Oh, that's kind of slow. Moving left and right in this. That's really slow, actually. It looks like I have plenty of time, though. So this is a really interesting presentation for this game. This is much more graphically intensive than I'm used to seeing in an Atari 2600 game. Oh, I can fly up and down, too. Okay. Oh, shit. I happened to line up perfectly with that one. Why is the screen jumping up and down like that? Is it supposed to do that? So if you look down at the bottom and you focus on the number and all those arrows down there at the bottom, it's actually jumping up and down a little bit. It's a little disorienting. Damn! I'm really good at flying into stuff, but not shooting it. See, this is a shooting game. I'm typically not good at these kind of games. Sort of getting the hang of it, though. The up and down controls are actually like an airplane, where up is down and down is up. Damn it! See, now I don't have a reference on the screen. Can I not fly up and down anymore for this section? I guess not, because I'm actually hitting all these things. So I guess the game kind of switches back and forth between sections you can fly up and down and ones you can't. Let's reset and try that again. So it's not letting me go down yet. Well, that's because I'm pushing the wrong fucking direction, that's why. You have to be pretty close to being the right elevation to hit things. That screen jumpiness is going to make me puke. Still, though, very impressive for an Atari 2600 game. Not only does it have scrolling, but these enemies also scale bigger the closer you get to them. And of course, it has the multiple heights going on. Okay, so I cannot fly up and down in this section. Damn it! See, they hit a threshold where they, like, jump forward a little bit. You don't have as much time as you think to line up and get off a shot. Oh, damn it. And that's it. Is there a select on this? There is, but it's incrementing that number, but I don't know what it does. Let's try 2. Oh, I didn't notice that before, that that vertical bar on the left-hand side also corresponds to my height. Damn it. There's also that meter down there at the bottom that's constantly going down, but shooting things, shooting those barrels, seems to replenish it. So those must be fuel, or something like it. Not enough time to get that one. Watch this. See, I shoot it and the meter refills. And that's apparently a wall. Stream says I got 3 people watching, which is cool. And now it's down to 1. Well, I literally said that there was 3 and then 2 people disappeared. Guess nobody wants to see these games tonight. That's okay though. I like playing them anyway. Let's try 3. See what that does. I don't know what it did differently on 2. Oh, it's going faster, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's going faster. That's what it does. So something else I may be getting at some point, because with the Intellivision on the way, my way of dealing with the fact that it's not here yet is to read more about it. It's a weird coping mechanism, I know. So I was reading more about that and found out that simultaneously Mattel also had the Aquarius out, which was a home computer that had similar technology to the Intellivision. And I'd heard of the Aquarius before, but I didn't really know the story behind it, so I read more on that, and now I kind of want one. So I may be getting a Mattel Aquarius at some point. Anyway, I think that's enough of a Zaxxon. Now we're going to do Lost Luggage. This is another third-party cartridge, this time manufactured by Apollo. Their cartridges typically looked like this. Had the grips on the sides, and their labels usually had a blue background like that. They were probably another victim of the game crash. Oh Jesus, this guy runs really fast. Okay. Wait, what's happening? I'm not controlling any of this. Okay, now I'm controlling it. What do I do here? Okay, plane went by and I'm catching the luggage, apparently. It's a good thing this guy runs so damn fast. What the hell just happened? The luggage opened up. One of them hit the wall over here and then it opened up and I don't know what's going on really. I guess I'm not really sure the point of that. Maybe the goal is to try and catch the luggage as fast as possible. Now I'm wondering if... I mean, you definitely played this game with the joystick controller, but it seems like this would be more suited for the paddle controller. There's a plane going by here. Okay, I'll just stand there and collect all the luggage in one spot. I think it's getting faster. It is getting faster. Holy shit. Yeah, I missed one. It hit the side. Oh shit, I think I just... I pushed the button to start the game. Like right at the right time to restart the game. What does the button do while you're playing? I don't know, I can't tell. Thought maybe it made him run faster as long as you were holding it down. So something else weird that I bought, a cassette recorder, actually a pretty good quality one. I used to work at Radio Shack, and there was a cassette recorder, a single cassette player and recorder that we sold while I worked there. So I knew it was a pretty good quality one, and I happened to find it in a thrift store for $1.50. So I bought it, and initially it didn't work at all. It produced a little bit of hiss out of the right channel and nothing out of the left channel. And so I'm like, okay, it needs to be cleaned. So I cleaned the heads and it didn't do shit. And so I got frustrated with it and I hit it, and that changed the audio output. Like it cut kind of weird, a buzzy kind of sound. And so I hit it again, and that changed the buzzy sound to a different buzzy sound. So I'm like, okay, this cassette recorder has informed me that to get it to do something differently, I need to beat the shit out of it. And so I did that, and eventually it started working perfectly, but only out of the right channel. And so tonight I decided to take it apart. I don't know why, because I can't fix electronics. But I took it apart anyway and looked at the inside. I was actually looking to see if there were any socketed chips on the inside that maybe needed to be pulled out and reseated, because the weird thing that it did was when I dropped the cassette recorder straight down, like straight down onto the floor, that's what fixed it. And I was reminded of a story of the Apple III computer, that one of the things that was wrong with that computer was that it wasn't able to properly cool itself because it didn't have a cooling fan, and it didn't have air vents because Steve Jobs thought those were inelegant. And so, inevitably, what happened with the computer is it got too hot and started fucking up. Well, what was causing it to fuck up? Well, when it would heat up too much, the socketed chips inside the computer would expand and they'd work their way out of the sockets, and that would start fucking up the computer. And so their fix for that was to lift the computer up off the table and drop it. And that would reseat the chips inside the computer and it would start working again. So whenever I dropped the cassette recorder onto the floor and that fixed it, that reminded me of that story. So I was like, okay, I'm going to open it up and look for any socketed chips on the inside. Maybe I can reseat them and that'll fix it. And there were no socketed chips on the inside. They're all soldered to the board. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'm done. I'll put this thing back together and fuck it. And when I put it back together, it started working again out of both channels perfectly. So I don't know what I did. All I did was pull the back off and put it back on, but that fixed it. So I'm never one to argue with hardware that suddenly starts working. So I'm going with it. I'm like, it's working, I'm going to go with it. Anyway, last game that I'm going to play is called Tapeworm, and it is yet another third-party cartridge, this time from Spectravision, and they made cartridges that look like this. Another unique shape to the sides, and unique shaping on the front, and unique labeling, typically reflective from them. So let's pop this in. I paid $10 for this game, by the way, so I want to get my $10 worth out of this. Okay. So Slinky, Spanky, and Beaky. I don't know what the game is telling me right here. And that one's just called Beetle. Okay, so we restarted with that, so let's restart the game. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, I'm controlling this worm thing in the middle, so this is kind of like Snake, the classic game. I'm controlling the head, and I guess, yes, I need to eat these flashing little dots. I don't know what that just did, that thing that flew across the screen right there. Maybe if I can eat those things as they come on the screen, I'll get more points. I do believe with each one of these boxes that I eat, I get longer. And as you may know, the primary hazard in the game of Snake is yourself, which is what happened right there. What you're supposed to do is avoid running into yourself. Which, since every time you eat something you get longer, it gets more and more difficult because you're filling up progressively more and more of the screen. So the idea, the point of the game is just to last as long as you possibly can. What happens? Nothing happens if I hit the button. Hey, fucker! Seemed like he actually ran away from me right there. Now, there's also that thing running across the bottom of the screen. I don't know what that does. Oh, that was stupid. Also, this game apparently has noisy video too, and I noticed noisy video in at least one of the other games too. So maybe Circus at the beginning of the stream doesn't have artifact oddities. Maybe it's the Atari being weird. Some days it produces sort of good video, sometimes it produces shit video, and sometimes flipping the channel between 2 and 3, because it outputs on a TV channel, so sometimes changing to the other channel helps it a bit. I typically try not to do channel 3 on any of my RF video game consoles because there is a local TV station here that broadcasts on channel 3, and so those two signals can conflict with each other. Okay, I was about to see, what am I supposed to do here, game? There's nothing left to eat. Okay, now see that weird pinkish purplish thing in the lower right, and now it's up at the top too, so what do I do? Okay, I went towards it, but I didn't touch it, and it disappeared. I'm gonna try going after this one again, see what happens. Okay, is that what I'm supposed to do? Oh shit. So now there's a thing in the middle. Different background color. Okay, I'm starting to see something here. whenever that little beetle thing gets over to the right, it puts more dots on the screen. I think that's what it did. But when I pick up a dot, it resets its position back to the lower left. So I guess maybe you're also racing against that beetle thing, too. I'm going to see what happens if I let it get there and see if I'm right. Let's go ahead and get there. Yeah, it does. It adds more dots. I have yet to eat one of those things that come across on the screen. I don't know if you even can. That's just an assumption. Oh shit. Hit the side. Don't think I'm supposed to do that. At least not until there's a thing on the side. I almost got that one. Oh shit. I don't know how I didn't die right there. I thought sure I backtracked on myself, but I guess I didn't. See, those flying things come on the screen and disappear again really fast. Maybe there's a pattern to how they appear. Okay, I think I just died. That sounded like death music. Let's see what select does. Starts on 2, 3, 4. Let's try 2. It seems like I'm going faster. Could just be my imagination, though. Ah, I got it! Wait, was that bad? It seemed like it ate me. It seems like that's what it did. Maybe that wasn't a good thing. Maybe those things aren't a bonus, they're an enemy, so it's actually a good thing that they're so hard to hit. Yeah, see, you just ate me again. What the hell? I can't move! And like, my head was red there. I had red head, I was ginger. That means I was inherently evil, while I also couldn't control myself. Damn it. See, look, there it is again. It's red and I can't control it. Why does it do that? Anybody in the chat know how this game works? It says I have 1 viewer, which could mean 1 viewer or 0 viewers. Don't actually know. Is that bird again? That thing does look like a bird. It would make sense that a bird would eat a worm. But a tapeworm? Because that's the name of the game. I haven't hit that spider thing yet. That comes from the top. So maybe something different happens when you hit that thing. Wait a minute. I'm a tapeworm? Am I eating blocks of shit right now? Is that what this game is about? Is this game about coprophagia? Would not surprise me. Back in this day, they made a game out of damn near everything. Okay, I missed getting to the thing before the bug got to it. Okay, here we go. Which made it disappear. And there we go. I think that's good. So there is much more going on in this game than just the core snake gameplay. Wow, down to 0 viewers now. Viewers don't want to see this. And we're back to 1 viewer. Sweet. I'm not going to make it. Damn it. That beetle ate my thing. I see that counter down in the middle of the screen tells me how many things I have to eat before the thing appears. So I have to eat 10 now. What the fuck? The lights went out. And then we're back to this bullshit where I can't control it. And that's it for that game. So, well, I think I've played the hell out of that. Did I get my $10 worth? I don't know. I feel like I only got $5 worth, but I also don't really want to play it anymore. I don't think it's... There could be more to it than that. There could be more stuff. There's certainly other levels. There's levels 3 and 4 that I could play. But I think I'm done for now. So we're going to call that a recording. I hope you've enjoyed watching these 4 games. The next time I'm probably going to play 4 more Atari 2600 games. I'm going to do what I call a viewer's choice thing, where I'm going to play games that have been mentioned or requested on previous streams. So look forward to that. So whenever that happens to be, I don't know, but when it is, I'll see you then.